Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Nitai Gora Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora Haribol, Nitai Gora Haribol, Haribol, Jaya Radha Gopinatha Radha Gopinatha Radha Gopinatha Shri Radhe Radha Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribal, 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 Nitai Gora Haribal, Nitai Haribal, Nitai Gora Haribal, 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 Nitai Gora Haribal, Nitai Gora Haribal, Haribal, Nitai Gora Haribal. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Grasan Shrimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Ananta Kuti, Vrinda Ki Jai, Jai Shri Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to everyone, dear devotees. Welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam class today in Shinyu Rimuna Dham. Haribol. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I'm very happy to be here in your wonderful association. Great Vaishnavas. So we reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, right? It's 5 here, but we have 6, right? 6, Chapter 6, entitled Conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva. And text number 21, right?
Yes. We are reading, so we will read some
Huh?
translation.
Say again?
Some English translation we will read, and then we will focus on 21.
On what?
verse 21, we will focus, we will recite it, you will give class on that, but we will read some translation just to know what's going on in this chapter.
Translation means before or what?
The translation
Oh.
of the verse, yes. Like this.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
So who is going to read this? Because I cannot read. I'm sitting at the back. Huh?
We all will read.
All right. So you start reading, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Text one. Sutra Das. O Brahmanas, thus hearing all about Srinarada's birth and activities. Vasudeva, the incarnation of God and son of Satyavati, inquired as follows.
Text 2, Sri Vyasa said, what did you Narayana do after the birth of the great sages who instructed you in scientific texts of knowledge before you began to use?
That's true. O son of Brahma, how did you pass your life after initiation? And how did you attain this body, having put your old one in due course?
It's true. Oh, great sage, time analyzes everything in due course. So, how is it that this subject matter, which happened prior to this day of Brahma, is still fresh in your memory, undisturbed by time?
Sri Narada said, the great sages who had imparted scientific knowledge of transcendence to me, departed for their places, and I had to pass my life in this way.
I was the only son of my mother, who was not only a simple woman, but a maid servant as well. Since I was her only offspring, she had no other alternative for protection. She bound me with dire protection.
Text 7. She wanted to look after my maintenance properly, but because she was not independent, she was not able to do anything for me. The world is under the full control of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, everyone is like a wooden doll in the hands of a puppet master.
When I was a mere child of 5 years, I lived in a Brahmana school. I was dependent on my mother's affection and had no experience of and land.
Once upon a time, my poor mother, when going out to meet a cow, was bitten on the leg by a serpent, influenced by supreme time.
I took this as the most special mercy of the Lord, who always requires benediction for his devotees, and so think he has come before the
Text 11. After my departure, I passed through many flourishing metropolises, towns, villages, animal farms, mines, agricultural lands, valleys, flower gardens, nursery gardens, and natural forests.
I passed through hills and mountains, full of reservoirs of various minerals like gold, silver, and copper, and through tracts of land with reservoirs of water, filled with beautiful lotus flowers, fit for the renaissance of heaven, decorated with beautiful peace and healing God.
Yeah. I then first passed along through many forests of bushes, its west and coast. It were very difficult to do throughout alone. I visited deep, dark, and danger fearful forests which were playing depths of snakes, cold, and just.
Thus, traveling, I felt tired, both bodily and mentally, and I was both thirsty and hungry. So I took a bath in River Lake and also drank water. By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion.
After that, under the shadow of Brahma tree is uninhabited for I began to meditate upon the super within, using my intelligence as I had learned from the meditate source.
As soon as I began to meditate upon the lotus feet of the personality God, I became my mind transformed instantly. Tears rolled down my eyes. Without delay, the personality God had Sri Krishna appeared in the lotus of my heart.
Text 17. Ovyasudeva at that time being exceedingly overpowered by feelings of happiness. Every part of my body became separately alive. Being absorbed in an ocean of ecstasy, I could not see myself.
6:18. The transcendental form of the Lord, as it is, satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as is usual when one loses that which is desired.
Text 19. I desired to see again the transcendental form of the Lord, but despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see him anymore. And thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved.
Seeing my attempts in that lonely place, the personality of God, who is transcendental to all mundane descriptions, spoke to me with gravity in pleasing words, just to mitigate my grief.
My turn now. So, small recap of the history, prehistory of this pastime. So now we read Sanskrit translation prepared by His Divine Grace Apaichirana Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Antasmin janmani bhavan namam drishtum iharhati avipakva kashayanam durdashaham kuyoginam. Please recite, Prabhus.
Avipakva kashayana
Durdashoham Kyoginam.
Antasmin janmani bhava. Mamam drashtum iharati.
Avipakva kashayana.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O Narada, the Lord spoke, I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints can hardly see me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The personality of God is quite extensive purpose. The personality of God is described in Bhagavad Gita as the most pure, the supreme, and the absolute truth. There is no trace of a tinge of materiality in his person. And thus one who has the slightest tinge of material affection cannot approach him. The beginning of devotional service starts from the point when one is freed from at least two forms of material modes, namely the modes of passion and the mode of ignorance. The result is exhibited by the sign of being freed from kama, lust, and lobha, covetousness. That is to say, one must be freed from the desire for sense satisfaction and avarice for sense gratification. The balanced mode of nature is goodness, and to be completely freed from all material tinges is to become free from the mode of goodness also. To search for the audience of Lord in a lonely forest is considered to be the mode of goodness. One can go out in the forest to attain spiritual perfection, but that doesn't mean that one can see the Lord personally there. One must be completely free from all material attachment and be situated in a plane of transcendence, which alone will help the devotee get in personal touch with the personality of God. The best method is that one should live at a place where the transcendental form of the Lord is worshipped. The temple of the Lord is a transcendental place, whereas the forest is a materially good habitation. An neophyte devotee is always recommended to worship the deity of the Lord Archana rather than go into the forest to search out the Lord. Devotional service begins from the process of Archana, which is better than going out in the forest. In his present life, which is completely free from all material hankerings, Sri Narada Muni does not go into the forest, although he can turn every place into Vaikuntha by his presence only. He travels from one planet to another to convert men, gods, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, Rishis, Munis, and all other to become devotees of the Lord. By his activities, he has engaged many devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and many others in transcendental service of the Lord. A pure devotee of the Lord therefore follows in the footsteps of the great devotees like Narada and Prahlada and engage his whole time in glorifying the Lord by process of kirtana. Such a preaching process is transcendental to all material qualities. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jnana Shalakaya Chakshura Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Pishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahaganarat Punatgam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatpudam Parijanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganam Lalitam Shri Vishakam Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanshina Gourange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishta Bhagavadesh Madhvakti Vedanta Swami Nityanami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharya Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtekadesh. Nama Sheshta Manshi Putra Matra Surupramudam Tasegra Ramuru Purim Madhurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivarakurati Kamatava Samprapta Sapridita Kripaya Shigurum Tam Nadosmi Adantastri Nandantari Ishki Punak Punashima Drupam Padam Bujam Dvashem Shamajamani. Hare Krishna. How's it everyone today, by the way? Good? So this is a beautiful fascinating story of Narada Muni, how he came to Krishna consciousness. Now it's a very popular site on YouTube, how I came to Krishna consciousness. You know. Probably the story of Narada Muni would be most fascinating and captivating, and everyone would love it. So Narada Muni speaks here to Srila Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva is his disciple, and this is parampara system. It's like third link from the Krishna himself. When Krishna gave this knowledge to Brahma, Brahma imparted further to Narada, and then Narada spoke to Vyasa. Idam vivasvate yugam proktavam aham avyayam vivasvan manave prabhu manuch ikshvaka vibravit. This is parampara system. And what he told him, he was telling him story of his life, life story of how he came to Krishna consciousness. It's very inspirational, you know. So we also inspired by many different stories of devotees who are posting up on Facebook or YouTube, their stories, how they came to Krishna consciousness. And to came to Krishna consciousness is one thing, it's a very great thing. It's unlimited mercy. So when we came and joined the Krishna consciousness, but came, then became Krishna consciousness is a different thing, you know. So Narada Muni, he not only came, but he became Krishna consciousness fully. And he explained here his life story, how to he became Krishna conscious. And this was successful story. So we would wish to every one of you also become successful in one's journey back home, back to Godhead, realize full potential, our spiritual potential in this path. And we came to join to this movement, which is actually movement. Movement means we're moving from one place to another place, from point of B, from point of A to point of B, from material world to the spiritual world, right? So we not came here just to stay here, to be here, or to stuck here, or maybe to lay down here, or to eat here, or to something like that. So we came here to move from material world to the spiritual world, right? So this is movement, by the way. This is movement Harinam Sankirtan Pati, Nitai Pada Kamala, which is moving straight up to the spiritual world. So let us also move together along with. So Narada Muni, he attained perfection by seeing God directly, right? He was able to see God. So this is perfection of life. Like Prabhupada said, how I see you, you able to see me and I see you. In the same way you can see God one day. You can see Krishna directly. You can perceive him through your eyes, through your senses. And this is a way, this is bhakti yoga, how to see God. So through this process, through this method, we finally can come to the point to see God directly. That's what we're practicing, right? By practicing, there are different stages of practice, different steps towards God. Ado shatho tato satusanga, bhajana kriya tato, anartha nivriti syad nishtha ruchi tato, asakti bhava prema pyudashvati. So how do you think, at which state we can see God directly? From Shraddha to Prema. So Shraddha means developing faith, right? First contact with Krishna conscious items. Then we can get sadhusanga, association of the devotees. Then we can start our practice, sadhana, purification and developing our Krishna consciousness step by step. Then anartha nivriti means cleansing all unwanted things, all obstacles, contaminations and things. Then we fixed on a level of nishtha, we become firmly situated, steady devotional service, firm faith, right? Then, by this steady devotion, we can develop taste. Taste, very attractive, very beautiful, sweet taste towards Krishna's nama, guna, rupa, lila, all his different aspects. And then we become attached naturally, because if there is a taste, is a principle. So if we attach to something, or if we like something, we become attached naturally, right? This attachment, great attachment to Krishna, and then gradually bhava arises. Bhava means beginning of perfection, ecstatic emotions, yeah, manifest in our heart, and then full perfection is a prema, divine love of God manifested in our heart, full blossom Krishna consciousness. At which stage we can see God? How do you think? What is your opinion? At the level of Shraddha? Or Nishtha maybe? Further up? Which state? Huh? Eye to eye, yeah. We can see, like Narada, he saw Krishna directly. He saw in his mind, in his buddhi, intelligent. Huh? At every stage. You can see God at every stage. Can you see God? Now. In the form of the deities, right? Yeah. So we can say like this, at every stage we can see God at some of his manifestations. Like, for example, first of all, we met devotees. Devotees are manifestation of God. They're direct representative of God. Guru, right? He is a via media. Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. So we met devotees, that means we met God. Because devotees are carrying God in their heart, and they can reveal God directly. We can see Krishna through the saint, right? We cannot see by our own eyes. That's why Prabhupada delivered to us Krishna. And now we understood who is God is actually. Because Prabhupada gave to us vision. So devotees are giving to us the vision. Then we maybe reciprocate. We experience God through the prasadam, right? We get some morsel of prasadam. And this is also God. It's not different because Krishna is tasted it. We believe in that. Then what else? Maybe we can see Krishna two-dimensional form, picture, right? So the first darshan of God. We never saw it before, probably. Then holy name. Holy name is a sound representation of Krishna. Shabda Avatara. Kali Kala Narmarupa Krishna Avatara. Krishna manifested in Kali Yuga in sound, in his holy name. Binatva Namanamino. He non different from his sound. Yeah. So he came in the form of holy name. This is Krishna himself. Yeah. Are we believing it? Yeah. Nama Vigraha Sarupa, 18 Ekarupa, Tina, 18 Bedanai, Tina Chit Ananda Rupa. There's three, three Nama Vigraha Swarupa. Name, Vigraha means form, Swarupa means personality. They're non-different. So we chanting holy name, it's like we observing Krishna directly. His personality, his form. Yeah, that's what is going on. So we have to believe. When we come into the temple room, we see God. Oh, we kind of, we become like a little bit more humble. But when we chant holy name, we just chanting, But it's the same when we see God in the form of vigraha or chanting. It's the same. Nama vigraha swarupa, 18 ekarupa. Ekarupa means one. Yeah. Then what happened next? Maybe we can develop more and more on Krishna consciousness, some more revelations are coming in our heart. We can experience Krishna in different aspects of his personality, Nama, Guna, Rupa, Lila, Dhamma, Parishads, and all the things. So gradually we're going deeper in Krishna consciousness. Krishna manifests himself more and more in our life. Then we see Krishna's hands directly in our life, right? I mean, not by these eyes, but through the intelligence. First buddhi, then bhakti. Dadami buddhi yogantam. Yanama Upayantita, Krishna said, first you have to develop your buddhi, yoga, connection to Krishna through the buddhi yoga, and then bhakti yoga, finally.
Like in the heart,
Huh?
knowledge. Like in the heart, we create knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah, about Krishna. Yeah. So divine knowledge. Divya Gyanam Tato Dadyam, Kuryat Papam Sangshayat. This is Diksha. You receive knowledge and you purify your heart from the papa, sins, right? So Vishwanath Chakravarti explained, we can see Krishna directly on the level of prema, not early. Sorry for the bad news. So directly through our senses, we can see Krishna on the level of prema. And Prabhupada explained here that we cannot see Krishna because Krishna is absolute purity. Param Dhama, Param Bhavam, Pavitram Paravam Bhavam, Purusham Shashvato Divyam, Adidevam Adjam Vibhum. So he is absolute purity. He is transcendental. He is beyond the modes of nature, beyond all the qualities of matter. He is higher than even Brahman, He is on a level of Vasudeva consciousness. Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Sabhitam, it is saying. So he's completely beyond of that. So how he can come to our heart, which is contaminated with the modes of nature? Krishna not interested in any modes, in any qualities. He interested only in what? Hladini Shakti. Hladini means pleasure potency. That's what he wants. He doesn't want anything else. He doesn't want karma, material sense gratification. So he waits that our heart become purified. Then he comes in, and then we'll see Krishna directly. And this is the process of bhakti yoga, which gives to us the ultimate darshan of Krishna. Sarva upadhi venir muktam tat paratvena nirmalam hrishikena hrishikesha sevanam bhaktir ushyate. So by this process of devotional service, there are two side effects: purification of the heart senses and also get rid of all designations, material designations. I am this body, I am Indian, I am European, I am man, male, female, I am advanced, I am wicked, whoever. So we get rid of all these designations which not belongs to us. We are originally we are eternal spirit souls. We are Krishnera Nityadas, Bhutto Hari Dasa. This is quality of the soul. Quality of soul is eternal servant of Krishna. So the devotion is inbuilt in our heart. So it's there. And this is our original state of being. And we cleanse in our hearts through the process of devotional service. Our senses. Sarva upadhi vinir mukta. Upadhi means all these designations are going away. And finally, gradually, like, like put iron rod into the fire. This is rod becomes also fiery nature. So we reciprocating with the Krishna, who is completely spiritual. So we also spiritualize our senses. We purify them and spiritualize them. And gradually, through the channels of our senses are going spiritual energy, which gives us darshan of Krishna. We can perceive through the senses, through the smell, hearing, tasting, smelling, seeing. Gradually, they're opening into the spiritual reality. You can touch, you can reach Brahman, Brahma Sparsha. It's called Sparsha means touch. You can finally reach Brahman through your senses. Now we cannot. We're very limited. Yehisam Sparsha Jambugi Dukhayune Bate Adiantauto Countia Nateshwara Mate Budhaya. So our senses are we experience happiness by exchanges, by coming in touch with the object of the senses. This is our happiness. It's very primitive. All these different objects of the senses like rupa, gandha, sparsha, rasa, rupa. So we reciprocate with that, and then we experience kind of, like some explosion of hormones in our consciousness, and we feeling happy or depressed or enthusiastic or like down or this and that. So these material things. But finally, by engaging in devotional service, we can reach Brahman, Brahma Sparsha. We can reach by our senses, purified senses. They become spiritual. And we can get Krishna's darshan like a spurti. Spurti means momentarily, like, spurti, flash in our mind, and disappeared. What is the verse? Adakshi Krishna namadi nabavet graham indriyaik sevon mukhehi jikhvadao swayamaha spurati adaha, spurti. So our senses are very gross. Nabavet graham indriyaik, our senses, very gross. So we cannot perceive subtle things which are beyond of our reach. But gradually purifying our senses through the process, so our senses become more perceiving, more perceivable, more subtle, more transcendental. And then spiritual energy flow through. And then Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryamsha Samyabhak Ruchibhir Masrinyam Sat also Utam Bhava Uchyate. Shuddha Sattva descends. Shuddha Sattva means beyond the modes. Shuddha Sattva means Chit, Shakti, and Hladini. Chit means energy of awareness, consciousness, understanding, and the Hladini Shakti means pleasure-giving potency. So this Shuddha Sattva purifies our fully. We just awaken into the other reality, completely new essential level beyond the modes. And then Vishwanath Chakravarti explained that on a level of prema. First is a spurti. It's momentarily darshan, very quick, fast, flash in our mind. Like Narada, he saw Krishna, but it's very for the moment, and then Krishna disappeared. And then that is only possible on a level of bhava, which when you purify it, your consciousness through the Shuddha Sattva. And then Sakshat Darshan. Sakshat Darshan means direct, you can see Krishna. First, maybe you can hear him, Also, Vishwanath Chakravarti explained Madhurya Kadambini, different on a very high level when devotee, very advanced devotee, his senses are started to open to the transcendental reality. First, maybe sense of hearing. So you can hear the flute of Krishna. You can perceive it. Krishna is playing flute on the banks of Yamuna, and he herding his cows or gathering gopis for the rasa dance. You can hear the flute. And then you can smell Krishna. His smell consists of 4 items. Do you know? You know, huh? Tell us.
The wood, sandalwood,
Say again?
sandalwood, camphor,
Camphor, yeah. Sandalwood.
wood, and
Aguru.
yeah, wood,
Aguru and
musk.
musk, huh? Yeah, I think so, yeah. There's 4. Chatursan. Yeah, there's 4. You can smell Krishna's. You even now you can mix this 4. You can experience little kind of, maybe some kind of, to such degree, you can get this. And then maybe you can, Krishna touch to you. So when he touch, so devotee, at every stage, when one sense is open to the spiritual reality, when devotee experiences, he just collapsed, he just fainted. At every, sense which opens to the spiritual transcendental reality, he just faints. And then Krishna awakened him again and opened his next sense. And this, like step by step, every each sense opens to the transcendental Shuddha Sattva. And finally, you can see Krishna directly. Your eyes are open to the darshan for Krishna, and then you see him directly at the front of you, and you collapse. So you cannot bear, you cannot digest this experience, which is very intense for your senses. Our senses are very, like primitive, very limited. And when you see Krishna, this is like out of imagination you experience. It's just completely overwhelming. You're just fallen without consciousness, you're just completely defeated by this experience. So, and then you see Krishna directly, as it is, as he is, like Prabhupada said. As you see me and I see you, so one day you'll see Krishna directly. So, and this is given can achieve by the process of devotional service. Bhakti mama pijanati yaman yashachmi tatvato tatvato gyata vishatetat anantarach. So only by devotional service, no other means you can get darshan of Krishna. So you cannot do anything, you cannot force, you cannot reach your own austerities or power or knowledge. You cannot do anything. You have to just pray and cry for mercy and develop your bhakti in the heart, develop your devotion. Because Krishna attracted only to devotion. Nothing else can capture him, So developing bhakti, gradually come to the darshan of Krishna, sakshat darshan, and then madhurya anubhava. Madhurya anubhava means exchanges with Krishna with different sweet mellows of devotional service, experience all this Satchitananda blissful experience by reciprocating with him. That's why Prabhupada said, one day you attain Krishna, you come back to Vrindavan. So we meant for Vrindavan, we're not meant for this place, Toronto, Montreal, or even Delhi, Mumbai. We're not meant for these things, for these places. We're meant for Vrindavan. And when you reach Vrindavan, when you attain Vrindavan, then you'll see Krishna directly. And then you be with Krishna, walk with Krishna, play with Krishna, eat with Krishna, and dance with Krishna. That's what we're meant for. So this is the process of devotional service. It's very beautiful. There's a mystery of bhakti. Only by bhakti we can finally come to the understanding and directly seeing Krishna as he is. So that's what Narada Muni attained. That's what he experienced in his life. And he passed through all the stages. And he set an example how we can also one day become eligible candidate to see Krishna directly in our life. Of course, we, like Prabhu mentioned, we already can experience Krishna to some degree, right? Seeing deities, taking prasadam, chanting holy name. And we cannot see Krishna like if you just, even if we go into Vrindavan maybe, and we think that we may see Krishna somewhere on the bank of Yamuna River or somewhere in the Kunjas, on some of the forest, maybe I see Krishna, some yellow dhoti will, manifest, or the peacock feather. No, we cannot see him like this. Just forget it. We can see him through the sound of holy name. Only in holy name he will manifest fully. And there are some stages, Nama, Guna, Rupa, Lila. So we can see Nama, Yukta, Nama, when we chanting. So we gradually experience Nama in full extent. Nija Sarva Saktis, all the energies are there in Nama. Then Rupa, Yukta, Nama. Nama can manifest to us Rupa, form of Krishna. Then Guna Yukta Nama. You can experience qualities of Krishna, his mood, his bhava. And then Lila Yukta Nama. Only through the holy name. Just forget it. You don't try to see Krishna by your material eyes. If you want to see Krishna, prepare your ears. That's what Prabhupada said. So you can see Krishna by our eyes. Of course, Krishna, merciful, he manifested himself in the material elements in the form of Vigraha, which is not different from him to some degree at some point. Sachitananda Vigraha. Also there, beautiful deities. Radha Kshira Chor Gopinath. Yes, but you can see Krishna, finally you can come to see him in the sound vibration of the holy name. So that's our inspiration, that's our goal, and this is our relationship with Krishna directly through the holy name. By chanting, you can see him. Shrutakshita, he is manifest through the Shruta Aikshita. Shruta means hearing, Aikshita means I, see, through the hearing. By hearing, you see him, not by seeing. You cannot see nothing. I mean, right? So that's the beauty of Krishna consciousness, and that's what gives us chance to finally one day we'll see Krishna directly. When we see him, then our life becomes sublime and successful, and then we will attain perfection. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Jai, Hare Krishna. Would you like to comment something or ask anything? Yeah? Prabhu?
Thank you for your class. I had a question we had mentioned about. So sorry, there are a few questions. This one is this clarification. Like, so you mentioned about Vishwanath Chakravarti and Madhuri, and there are two stages you mentioned. Are there more stages, or is it just like the first is you can hear flute of Krishna, second is you can smell Krishna, and third is you just faint, or is there more to in terms of how?
Was there more?
Yeah, is there
How many senses you have? So all senses are opening into the spiritual reality. So every sense, step by step, will be open, and you'll get full experience of Krishna. So the smelling, hearing, tasting, seeing, and finally, last stage is anugraha, when Krishna gives you experience of whole in total at once. You can experience him through all senses. So Krishna will give you. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti explained in Madhurya Kadambini. This is final perfection on the level of prema, because he explained this only on the level of prema we can see Krishna. And that's why he added two more stages after prema. It's called spurti and sakshat darshan on the level of prema. And then madhurya anubhava. So Rupa Goswami explained 9 stages from Shraddha to Prema, developing of faith up to the level of manifestation of divine love. But afterwards, he also explained 3 more, Spurti, Sakshat Darshan, and Madhurya Anubhava. Yeah, that's what's happening. And so he extended a little bit this process, explaining for us more details, so that we can be inspired and also understand more deeply this process. Yeah?
The other question is, it's when Krishna comes in front of us, it's easier to respect him, and even the Archa Vigraha, when it's in front of us, we offer our obeisance. But with the holy name, sometimes it's very easy to ignore.
Yeah.
Disrespect. So how can we respect the holy names?
How we respect? By developing our understanding of Nama Tattva, by going deep in the scriptures, and developing your faith, which is based on the scriptures, into the holy name. So our faith Shraddha is basically a transcendental Shraddha. That's what we try to develop. It's called Shastriya Shraddha. And that section of Shraddha, Shastra, which explain the holy name, so it's also fully expected by us. So the nature of the holy name, which is explained, is not different from Krishna. Binatva nama namino. Nama chintamani Krishna chaitanya rasa vigraha purna shuddha nitya mukta binatva nama namino. This is a beautiful nature of the holy name, which is transcendental chintamani, wish-fulfilling gem. This holy name is Shuddha, Purna, full of energies, full of transcendental rasas and bhavas. Whatever you like to get, you can get from the holy name. You don't need anything else. So you can get everything from. This holy name is eternal, and it's like a touchstone. You touch anything, it turns into gold. But even this is even higher, because if you touch anything, it turns into the spirit. And this transformation of spirit matter into the spirit. Like we are now materialized. We are these bodies. We are completely conditioned by this material nature. By chanting, we become spiritual. It's like a process of touching bell metal by mercury, and this is called spiritual alchemy. It turns into gold. This process is explained in the Shastra. In the same way, we are being by these bodies, by material beings, we turning ourselves completely into the spiritual, transcendental, by reciprocating with the holy name. It's like a spiritual alchemy, transformation of our heart. So we have to develop this faith in the holy name. We don't want to input our faith in anything else in this world. What's the use? This world is mortal, dead, inert matter. So if we don't develop our faith in the Shastra, we will develop our faith in material science, material education, material intelligence, material authorities. Do we want this? No, of course. So we want to develop our faith into Shastra. And Shastra explains the beautiful nature of holy name, which is, Nama Chintamani, Chaitanya Rasa, full of transcendental, spiritual, aprakrita bhavas, non-material. And then, by developing this faith and cleansing our heart from unwanted things, contaminations, we gradually come into the respect and reverence to the holy name. We understand it's just not different. Huh? So we have to clean this kind of barrier in our consciousness, that because that's material experience. When we call somebody by name and person are different, right? In material world, they're different. But at some degree it's the same, but still it's. But holy name is not different, so we have to understand it, and we have to go through the stages by changing, by cleansing our heart, so we gradually come into the level of completely understanding, developing faith and realization that these things are non-different. Binatva nama namino. So let us do this regularly, reading Harinam Chintamani, Bhajan Rahasya, all these wonderful books which I explain the nature of the holy name. Shrimad Bhagavatam, So, and we Chaitanya Charitamrita also explained Nama Vigraha Swarupa 18 Ekarupa. So we gradually develop this faith. And this is parallel way, we reading, we developing faith, we chanting, we praying to the holy name, we getting our own realization through the heart. It's called Anubhava. By chanting, by doing bhajan, we can get realizations in more deep and all this dualistic perceptions will be reconciled in our heart through the process of bhajan. Yeah, because spiritual energy is coming, little, not much. We don't have big, large access to that, but we're getting a little bit. It's like a what's called friction. We take what's called, in English, how do you call it? If you rub our hand against something, electricity? No, that. Yeah, I mean it's another example. So, for example, some what is called dye, we just rub our hand against wall, which is colored by with something. So we gradually getting painted our palm, right, our hand. In the same way, we touching with the spirit. We come in touch with spiritual energy. We're getting more and more spiritual things, and that's why our consciousness become more one, like oneness. We develop in oneness. This dualistic perception is going out. We reconcile our things, like all these extremes in our consciousness. We become, more in a oneness, in one vision of everything, that Krishna is everything and everyone is connected to. So Krishna manifests himself through all the material objects in everyone's heart. So we can see everything like that and everything connected to. So everything happens according to Krishna's will. So we kind of developing this like vision of reality. And then all this kind of dualistic perceptions are going out. So we getting right understanding of metaphysics and reality as it is. So that's bhajan, that's spiritual practice. That's how it works according to the Shastra. Anything else, Prabhu? I saw some other hands were up. Yeah, Prabhu.
So we also believe that I don't know the source, exact source, but I heard from in the lecture that Sri Prabhupada mentioned he was a cycle that you need to become 100% Krishna conscious to go back to Godhead. So
You have to what?
become 100%.
100%.
So then the disciples were they kind of became dejected. They were like, oh, we're not able to do this.
Yeah, it's not possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, okay, 90%. Still, they were not happy.
Mm-hmm.
So then he said, okay, minimum 70%. That's all.
Yeah.
No concession.
Yeah.
So, and then here we read Prabhupada saying that you cannot even have slightest material affection. You cannot approach Krishna with that. So, how do we understand this whole?
I think it's Prabhupada gave to us a discount, 30% of mercy. So we'll get mercy. Our efforts on our way, always two fingers, like Mama Yashoda tried to bind Krishna with a rope. Their two fingers always fall short because our efforts is called parishrama and also mercy, kripa. So this is two road with two ways. So we try to do some our efforts in devotional service, and Krishna gives mercy. So we have to do efforts, and then mercy will come. Of course, part of bhakti is always kripa mark. It's called part of mercy, and this is preliminary thing, and our efforts are secondary always. So we get in everything by mercy, not by our efforts. You have to understand it. So we cannot get anything We cannot chant attentively even without mercy. We cannot concentrate our mind without mercy. That's what's happening. So you don't try to push yourself too much. You just pray so that Krishna gives you this ability to control your mind, so that Krishna can pacify your mind, can control himself. Yeah, so I think because of mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we can get discount even more. Prabhupada said 70% just to keep them strict, serious, and sincere, so that they can, just do their efforts, do their endeavors for Krishna. But actually, we completely depend on mercy. We completely depend. We cannot purify ourselves. We cannot get rid of anarthas, which we accumulated over a million lifetimes. We cannot do this. How we can get rid of lust, anger, greed, matsarya, enviousness? Is it possible or not? Everyone has experience. Probably it's like a tremendous task to get out of this. But by Krishna's mercy, by the devotees' mercy, we can get it finally. So I think Prabhupada gave to us discount 30%. But if it's sincere, so there is mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, so we can get even more. But we have to do something anyway. We have to do, and this is not by only our own efforts. This is only by the mercy. Yeah, that's what. How can I understand it? Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna Jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. ISKCON Toronto Yatra ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa